Yep, my house is fine.
Nice.
It's good,
Nice.
man. That's
Yeah,
good. I was actually thinking about that when fucking Irma hit. I was like, damn. It's
yeah,
supposed to be like the worst hurricane ever.
yeah. It was a fucked up situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard you left. You went to Myrtle Beach,
Yeah,
right?
I went to Myrtle Beach, because it was turning left.
Mm-hmm.
It was turning west towards Tallahassee. So yeah, we had family friends there, and that's where we went.
Mm-hmm.
The drive up wasn't so bad, but coming down was fucking horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we left when everybody else was. We should have stayed a extra day. I We left around 10. We were supposed to be back at 8 p.m. and we ended up the traffic was so fucking bad. It was a 20-hour drive, and we ended up like coming back at 6 a.m. That's how fucking
Mm.
bad it was.
Damn.
Yeah, it was just fucking ridiculous. But and then I get back and I'm sleeping. I went to bed as soon as I got home, and I woke up to a message because my mom wanted to check on my grandfather. He had a heart attack,
Oh shit. Is he all right?
and now he passed away.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
Thanks. So that was another fucking thing. It was just crazy. Um, yeah, it's been a fucked up week.
Yeah, man, I can imagine.
Yeah, total fucked up week. But hey, I have a house, and I don't know. It was just crazy that the hurricane like turned to like right before it went to right before it hit Cape Coral. It turned to the west. I mean the east slightly,
Mm-hmm.
and that basically took away the chance of any storm surges. Because they were calling for 9 feet of fucking storm surge down here, and that would have wiped away. I mean, I wouldn't have a house.
Hmm. Yeah, I heard. I saw some video of Miami, man. Like downtown Miami, it looked like a fucking swamp
Yeah,
with all the water.
yeah, yeah.
That
I'm
stinks, man.
glad I missed your house, man.
Yeah, I'm glad I missed
Uh,
your house.
Thanks. Yeah, totally. Because, man, I don't know how I would take it not having a house, and then that shit happened to my grandfather. Even though I knew my grandfather's days were numbered at any time, but that basically just did him in. But
Mm.
he wanted to die. I mean, he was miserable, and he's been a lost soul ever since my grandmother died back in 2004. So he's been. I know he's happy to be gone.
So what happened with that? Like, what did he stay in his house or something, and then
Now
when you guys came back?
he was in assisted living,
Oh.
and then they had to evacuate him to another assisted living, like their sister housing or whatever. And I don't know. My mom calls the lady. The lady my mom was got along with his nurse. She even told my mom to call her. And then my mom calls, and that lady like gives her shit, like talks like like it's her fault that she left him, and it's like we can't fucking take him. He has stage 4 kidney failure, like.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, she was just, I guess, being a bitch to my mom, and my mom when we got back like fucking let her have it, and
Yeah.
she called while we were just to check up on my grandfather, and she's like, how is he? And she's like, not good, not good. No one's good here, and she understood, like, the stress level was probably through the roof down here, but it's like, you're a fucking professional. You don't fucking, you don't talk like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and she's saying all this shit like, yeah, he's been sitting in a chair for 3 days. Well, fucking lay him down, and all that shit. Like, they have blow up mattresses and, and I don't know. She said that to my mom, and my mom kind of thought that was unnecessary, because like, what can my mom do, being
Mm-hmm.
600 miles away? And then they're saying
Right.
he was dehydrated. My mom's like, give him a fucking IV then.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know if she's gonna end up like seeking, her attorney over this. I don't know what's gonna happen, but
Mm-hmm.
it's been a fucked up week. But he's at peace now, and I don't know.
Yeah, and that was your mom's dad, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was telling James and Estella last night. It's like it feels weird not to have grandparents anymore. It's like I'm really starting to feel old. 'Cause
Yeah, man.
he was the last one. I mean, the
Still
two.
got a,
What's that?
I still got a grandma, but she's pretty fucking old.
Yeah.
James, I think you're muted. Are you muted?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I didn't. I was looking at that symbol. I was like, "Are you doing it yourself?" Because I don't think I muted you.
No, that's me. So you guys don't pick up all that extra noise from me fidgeting around.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah, it was crazy shit. And then all that indecision, should we stay or should we go? All that shit. That was like the most
Yeah.
stressful.
Let me ask you this, Steve. Did you think that if you stayed, you would have been all right there? Or are you glad that you left? Like,
I don't know. If I knew what I knew, after the fact, I would have probably stayed. What scared us was the storm surge.
yeah.
We didn't want to end up on our fucking roof, standing up there waving like at a helicopter to come pick us up. That's what we started thinking like Katrina and all that shit, or that Harvey or whatever that came through Texas.
Yeah, Harvey.
Yeah, Harvey was nasty, too.
That's what we were thinking, but it was nothing like that. But it was like it was either Category 3 or Category 2 when it passed through here, and so if I knew what I knew now, I would have stayed. But of course, I don't have a crystal ball, but
Right. Yeah, hindsight's 20/20.
and we just got impact windows in my house, and they're a very good impact window, and plus I even had my shutters over that. So I wasn't really, I don't know. The only thing, like, even though my roof is old, it still seems pretty good. That's our only cause of concern if the roof, gives away or something. But I live in a little tank of a house, and I got those impact windows now. And I don't know. I think I would have been all right, but I don't know. This was our first dance, and of course, it was like one of the biggest fucking hurricanes ever, and that sucks. So of course, and I was pretty cool throughout the week, but I told my mom this. I'm like, you really whipped this up, like, because I was fine, and then she starts, getting crazy, and then that gets me crazy, and then my brother is finally done with his job in Montana, and he's like traveling down, I guess, to Pennsylvania or whatever, and he's screaming at us, "Get the fuck out!" Like screaming.
Yeah.
And then because he's not here, and that's fucking stressing me out, and everybody's saying, "Oh, we're gonna go," then we're not gonna go, and then I was fine with going. It was only gonna take me a few minutes. I already had my shit packed, but then it's like, his girlfriend's freaking out, I don't know. I was like caught in the middle of all this shit. Like if it was just me and my brother, then we would have done fine. But I don't know. That was the real stressful part. And I don't know. I don't want to relive that again. And I don't know. Like I said, I like living down here. It's nice and stuff. But like, I don't know. In the future, I don't know if I could live down here like my whole life. Like I was thinking, once I get my shit paid off, should I go back to school and like, get a degree in something like I like, and then like move somewhere else and try to get a job, all that stuff's floating in my head. Who knows? But
Well, there's always Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You might. Yeah, I was gonna say you might. James, that's perfect, man. I was gonna say you might be hit by hurricanes, but at least you're not living in Kansas, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'd be living in Kansas, then a fucking tornado will come by.
Yeah, I know. That's the fucking thing about it, is like every section of the United States has got their crazy whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I felt pretty safe in the Northeast, but I don't know. And I was thinking like the Pacific Northwest, it's like, yeah, you got earthquakes or, and maybe mudslides or some shit. I don't think they really like the Pacific Northwest, I don't think they deal with wildfires, right? That's more southern. Northwest?
I think they can deal with some crazy shit. Like sometimes they get like mudslides.
Yeah.
Like if they get a ton of rain. Yeah,
But-
Pacific Northwest is probably the fucking safest, maybe.
Either that or the Northeast.
Yeah, well, the Northeast, you get the fucking killer storm, like snowstorm. Well, it's not killer, but
Yeah.
you get a fucking ton of snow.
Well, the funny thing is, I was never afraid of I've been through a lot of blizzards and shit. I mean,
Yeah.
I was never afraid.
Yeah, blizzards are fucking nothing, man.
Yeah.
I'll take a blizzard, fucking any day of the week and twice on Sunday over a fucking like a tornado or a hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would too, but my only concern is, I don't mind if it's like a blizzard, like one blizzard, and then you have a couple days to recoup. I remember like it was like 3 or 4 years ago, where it just would not stop snowing. Like it would be like we'd get like 4 or 5 inches of snow, right? I know this is nothing to you, Paul, but then it wouldn't melt because it would be butt cold, and then we'd get like another like fucking 6-7 inches, and then it just kept piling on. And I remember reading so many fucking stories about people's roofs collapsing because of all the fucking snow on top.
Yeah.
I'm like, uh-oh.
Pete, you guys get more snow than us over here, man. I mean,
Really?
the only thing, yeah, I mean, we get snow, yeah. I don't think we get as much snow as you do on the East Coast, dude.
Well,
no.
dude,
You guys are by
thought
the ocean.
I always thought Wisconsin, fucking Minnesota shit, you guys get like a fucking butt ton of snow because it's fucking coming down from Canada. Get that cold air from Canada and just fucking always cold.
I know it's cold.
I mean, but you guys got the fucking Atlantic Ocean. We got what, Lake Michigan? That doesn't
Yeah.
compare. I mean, yeah, we do get snow from time to time, but I think you guys get worse.
Yeah.
Comparable is the temperature. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
well,
probably the same. It might actually get colder here in over by like Wisconsin and Minnesota and shit. You get down to like 40, 50 below some days. A lot of times. I mean, every year we usually get a couple days where we get down that low. And it happens over in your area, but it seems to happen here quite a bit.
Yep. But it was fucked up, and I'm glad it's over. I mean, for now.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Just just how big that fucking system was ginormous.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and then now you weren't one of those people who was thinking about shooting at the storm, right?
No.
With your gun. Yeah, because I heard that and I'm like, oh my god.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, how dumb can Floridians be?
Yeah.
Like at least you're like a Floridian, but you're like a transplant. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
You're not like a born and raised like fucking. I'm from Florida and I know what I'm doing and shit. I got gators in my house, and fucking snakes and all this shit. You know what I mean?
Do you think though, like 2017, we'd have some sort of technology to maybe disperse a hurricane, like a storm coming? Like, you think we would have like a clue? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me. I'm just an average Joe. I mean, I'm not a meteorologist, or I don't know how hard or easy that is, but you think like they could like go over it and like drop like fucking nitrogen on it or something, or I don't know. But you just think that we would have something to like break that shit up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But
Yeah, there were a lot of people talking about like when Irma was about to hit Florida, like when it fucking just demolished like St. Martin and
yeah.
what's the other one? They had like something. Everybody's like trying to be like, is there any way we can like like you were saying, disperse something? And they were talking about different things, and
Yeah.
honestly, it would cost like an ass ton of money, but probably not.
As much as the
Probably.
destruction.
Right? Yeah, probably not as much as the destruction. Right?
Yeah. You think there would be something to fucking disperse it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's just crazy. But you know what? With all the fucking the fucking climate change and all the water getting warmer and shit, man, you're gonna have a lot more of these.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully not like it won't be like a once. Like this only happens every fucking 5, 10 or whatever, like 10 years, and then we have 2 of them back to back. You know what I mean?
They were saying like this is like the first time in like 13 or 15 years like a real bad one was around this area.
Yeah, and then I think there's Jose,
Yeah.
and then there's fucking Maria, and then all these fucking ones coming. It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah,
I can't-
Jose's coming up, like, I guess close to you. Well, I mean, not.
Yeah.
You're gonna get rain or something, but
Yeah, I heard Maria might hit us.
Maria is, I don't know. Everybody's afraid of Maria because she's taking the same fucking path as Irma. But for right now, the American and European models, which they're the first and second. The European, I guess, is the most accurate, and the American second. But they haven't. Once it hits Dominican Republic or whatever, Hispaniola or whatever, the island of Haiti and Dominican Republic, I guess it's going to hook up to in the Atlantic Ocean. It's going to go up the East Coast, and they said it might hit the Carolinas, but it's still early to tell, and it can always change.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's always those lady storms that are bitches.
Yeah. Well, besides Andrew back in 1992.
Yeah, and I guess Harvey was a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, I was prepared to come back to nothing. Thank God I have everything, and nothing was, it's like I had like one fucking payment left on my car because I rode, with my mom and her boyfriend, up.
Mm-hmm.
But I left my car. I left it in between the neighbors and my house, so it was protected, and it was fine, not a scratch on it. And I was like, I have like one or two more payments on it, and it'd be a bitch if I, even though insurance would probably cover it. I have full coverage on it, but it's like I got like a couple payments of that. It's just, but I don't know. Like I said, if it doesn't happen too often, I'm cool, but I just don't like living in an area where, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, all areas have their thing, but I don't know. But I'm happy it's over, and it would have sucked like if we would have got caught in traffic heading up to Myrtle Beach, because we'd be sitting ducks.
Yeah.
Because we like left right at the right moment. It was like a day or two before. I forget when we left. Was it, I think, Friday morning? And it came Sunday? Or Friday? I can't remember. I like blocked a lot of that shit out, even though it was like a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then we ended up at Myrtle Beach, at our family friends, and actually it was my mom's best friend through high school. And they're from Washington, Pennsylvania, and they moved to Myrtle Beach quite a few years ago, and we went up there and we watched, the Steeler and Brown game, and I'm watching it all fucking depressed because I'm thinking, I'm not gonna have a house to go home to, and then like the next day, I guess we finally got a hold of a neighbor, and he said, yeah, everything's fine, and then like it's funny, it turned into like a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I've never went somewhere and be all gloomy, gloom and doom, and then like midway through it, it's like it's a vacation. But like being up there, it's like even the wind and fucking rain, and I have videos that I was gonna post, just showing it. I posted it on my Facebook, but like
Yeah, I saw them.
yeah, I'll post it, on my YouTube, but it was even crazy, and that was it shows how big that storm was, because we were on the East Coast, and it was supposed to turn like near Tallahassee, or go up through Alabama, and then through Tennessee or whatever, but we're in Myrtle Beach right on the coast, and it was fucking there was flooding, and the wind was crazy. That storm was ginormous. But it was an experience. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just glad it's over, and hopefully we won't get one like that.
Yeah.
They're saying.
Let's hope that's the last like fucking mega storm of the season. How long does this season thing last anyway?
End of November.
Oh God.
Yep. Yep. I'll be happy just to get into November.
Mm-hmm.
But the peak was, it was funny, the peak was like September like 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like what, a day before she showed up. So they said like the Labor Day week is like the peak. So I'm glad at least that's over. It's funny, like, I'm all educated on hurricanes. I've been down here 6 years, and, you know, we didn't really have any scares. We might have had one, but it was like a tropical storm. It was nothing, but it's like I got hurricane apps on my phone now. It's like, I'm like, I don't know, it educated me a lot.
Yeah, but you got to. I mean, especially you live in Florida. Yeah, I would have it. Like if they had some stupid blizzard app like telling me like, oh, it's gonna fucking snow really bad, I'd be like, I'm picking that up.
Yep.
Because I like, yeah.
Yeah, you know, my manager was telling me, you know, just basically like, yeah, but if you move anywhere, you know, you have your shit. And then he mentioned the blizzard thing. I said, I would take a blizzard any fucking day.
Yeah.
I said, I was never afraid for, you know, I was never afraid during a blizzard. I was like happy. I was like, maybe, you know, well, during my school years, I'm like, hey, no school, or, you know, and then like maybe if they declared a state of emergency during my working, you know, years up there, you know, maybe I don't have to go to work, or, you know.
Mhm.
But, you know, it was nothing.
Yeah, they didn't try to pull that fucking shit like they did the Pizza Hut. Did you hear about fucking Pizza Hut? What
No.
they did to some people?
No.
What they did, they pretty much told them they couldn't evacuate until a certain time,
What?
or they were gonna fucking fire them. Like certain places down in Florida, there was like one Pizza Hut thing that like people were like, yeah, we're not coming in because we gotta get the fuck out of here, and they're like, no, you gotta come in here, you gotta fucking do this. It's like what?
I'd be like,
They were telling them if they don't come in, it's like a no call no show, and it's
what
like
the
fuck
fuck?
you. Yeah, that's why I was like fuck you.
I'm gonna risk my life making fucking pizzas?
Yeah, or like minimum wage. No thanks. No fucking thanks.
I mean, even if it wasn't, no thank you. I'm not risking my
Yeah.
life to... I don't care if I'm getting paid fucking $30 an hour.
Yeah, no, I'm out, yeah. No thanks.
Yeah.
So what'd you end up doing with your cats?
We took them, we took 2 out of the 3. We couldn't get my crazy neurotic cat. And,
Right.
the funny thing is, you know, we're leaving the house, and, you know, it's sad. My mom's, like, crying. She's like, oh, goodbye, little house. I hope you're all right. And then she's, like, crying over leaving Nikki. That's, you know, the neurotic cat I had since, like, 2005. And, so we took my 2 male cats, and the male that we took in down here, he started, like, crying for a while, and then he stopped for a while, but on the way coming back, he was fine. Okay, he was fine for the most part, but then we had that gridlock through I-95 in South Carolina, and then we had more gridlock on I-70, I-70 in Florida. And if we would have made it home at 7 p.m., he would have been fine. But then he started, I guess, having stomach problems, so he starts crying in the carrier. We stop at a rest stop. You know, of course, we want to be careful, so, you know, in case he doesn't get out of the car. We'll never get him, you know, never see him again. So we're trying to, like, open up the carrier and lining up the litter box with the carrier so he could just go from one to the other. And if the first time it didn't work out, he wasn't using it. And then we take off, and he's still fucking crying. So then finally, while, you know, we're driving, she just let him out, and he's walking around, and I think he finally used the litter box, but he was bad at the end. But, you know, we never thought we would be in the car for 20 hours.
Yeah, man.
But my one, you know, the cat that we left, that we couldn't get, she's fine.
That's good.
Yeah, she's fine. And the funny thing is, I guess the 2, you know, the males that we took, they were so traumatized that we couldn't, like, we took them out of, you know, their carriers, and they're walking around the house like, you know, everything's fine. They're a little spooked, but, you know, my one cat that I had for a while, he's using the scratching post, and everything seems fine, and then he's laying down. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, we let them out. You know, we'd never think they wouldn't come back in, like, 2 days, but they were gone for, like, a day or so. And my mom's, like, freaking over that, and I'm like, it's pretty funny. I was like, the cat that we didn't take is now, you know, sticking around the house, and then the 2 that we took, they're gone. We can't even find them. But they finally came back. I knew they were going to come back. They were just traumatized. I mean, they needed time.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, don't worry, they're going to come back. But, you know, and of course everything looked different. You know, I had a tree uprooted. I don't know if you saw the pictures. Like I said, I'll put the pictures in the video. But you know, the yard looks totally different. There's branches laying everywhere, and that could have spooked them too. You know, we came back, everything looks different. We're traumatized. You know, we're gonna take off for like a day or so. And who knows what they were thinking? They're like, maybe, you know, I know they heard my mom calling them. They're probably thinking, oh no, we're not going back in that fucking carrier. That's probably what they were thinking. We're not taking any more trips.
Yeah, fuck going back in the car for 20 hours.
Yeah. So they were gone for like a day or so. But they're back and everything seems fine. But so next week, Wednesday, I'm gonna be in Pennsylvania for my grandfather's thing, Wednesday through Sunday. But I don't know. This funny thing is, my old house, it's like, so, you know, of course, this family or whoever bought it off of us, and now they sold it, and it's been like for sale forever. And I was always teasing my mom, like, yeah, you're gonna end up buying it back, and she's like, not on your life. But I was thinking about going back there and just recording, like, you know, my old house. I guess it really looks like I don't know, a shithole now because the people that had it, I don't know. So knocked the pool down, took the pool out, and I don't know. I was just looking at pictures of it on Zillow, and it wasn't really looking too good, which is pretty sad. But I'm going to check that out. My old stomping grounds. But
Yeah, you might as well.
yeah, because no one's going to be there. I mean, the house is, you know, no one's living in it. It's for sale.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It sucks. It sucks when like one of my buddies, he used to live up the street from me, and like the people who came in after he moved out like were like pretty shitty too to the house. And I remember he came over one day and he went walking back up there, and they changed like the siding and made it like this fucking weird color.
Yeah.
He's like, man, it's a shame that they're fucking up that house.
Yep.
Because he's like, yeah, me and my dad, we put like a lot of work into that shit.
Yep.
And all this, that, and the other, and it's like, oh man, that sucks.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I know everybody has different tastes, but I was just looking at the pictures and like it was my brother's old room first. It seems like my room's still the same color, but I looked at my brother's room, and then whenever he moved out, I took over his room because his room's a little bigger, and it's like fucking pink. So I guess like either the daughter lived, you know, that was her room, but I'm just like ugh. And like, I don't know. The walls are still white, but they have like the black, they have like, what do they call that? The baseboard, or, you know, the board that's at the bottom of the wall. Is that like the baseboard? I don't know what the technical
I think
name.
that's what they call it, yeah.
It's
I think
like,
that's what they call it.
yeah, it's like black, and it just doesn't look right. I was looking at the pictures on Zillow. It just does not look right, to me at least. I don't know. And I was showing my buddy John, you know, the house and stuff, and, you know, the shit around it, and he's like, it looks like fucking 8 Mile. But the funny thing is, like, whenever my mom took a trip up there, like a year or so ago, she said it was pretty clean, and I remember telling you guys, like, you know, it was all, whenever I lived up there towards the end, it was like litter everywhere, but she said it was looking pretty clean, and I was surprised.
Yeah, I remember when you were telling me about it. You're like, yeah, they would just dump shit on the side of the road. And,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, you see like a recliner. You'd be driving, you'd see like a fucking couch on the side of the road. Like, what the fuck? Don't you have any pride in your area? Like, you know, I know, you know, the economy sucks and shit, but at least have pride. Like, at least be respectable.
Sounds kind of like Tijuana.
Yeah, it's like just a miniature Tijuana. I mean, it was nowhere near that, but it's like, geez. There's some places you'd go. There's some spots where like litter was like horrible. But I don't know. like I said, I'm just glad all this shit's over with. And I'm kind of looking forward to the trip up. Wednesday, sometimes it's good to go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then just get out of like a disaster or
Yeah.
because there's not much else you can fucking do down there.
No, I cleaned all my shit up. My shit's looking pretty good. We still got to take care of the uprooted tree. We're gonna call somebody to chainsaw that shit, and we'll get firewood out of it at least to burn in the wintertime. But we're still waiting on the garbage. I thought the garbage would come, but I guess we gotta wait till next week, which is, I think they come Tuesday mornings. We had to throw some shit out of our. Well, of course, the scraps from the trees, from other trees, it's like lining my front yard. I mean, it's like everybody's yard down here, all the tree limbs and shit. But of course, I had to throw shit away in my refrigerator, like the eggs and shit. I'm not getting fucking salmonella. I don't know how long the power was out. I know people are still experiencing power outages, but not really around me. But I wasn't taking any chances. I threw the eggs away, and I had some like chicken in the freezer. And whenever I opened up the freezer, I saw like blood dripping a little bit, like bloody ice. And I was like, I was like, I gotta throw that shit away. I'm gonna fucking clean my freezer out and keep the shit I know that's still frozen.
Yeah.
It sucks. I hate wasting food. I hate throwing that shit away, but I'm not gonna fucking get sick. Be an idiot and eat it.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. Kill you to just make it stronger, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I have an iron stomach. But
I definitely don't.
Yeah.
But shit, not anymore.
I think my stomach.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. I think my stomach's getting worse. I can't eat too much like spicy foods, and then like my mom and like friends, they'll order like spicy shit, and I'm like, geez, like enough with the spicy shit. Like, I don't know. I was like, I don't see how.
Yeah, after a while.
Yeah.
Like indigestion and shit from that stuff. Or at least I do. I don't know.
Yeah, like I like going to Popeyes every once in a while, but like if I eat like the chicken, I'm shitting for like 2 days. I mean, I love it, but it does not love me.
Yeah, that's why I kind of stopped with eating a lot of that shit, man. Most of the time when I eat, it's just stuff that I just prepare for myself at home, and it's not even like anything really, or spicy or anything like that. I mean, just for that reason, because yeah, the same thing. If I start eating that shit like all the time, like I used to, I start, getting the shits.
Yep.
I stopped doing that, and it's better now. Like I do a lot better.
Yep.
Didn't fucking eat meat for like months.
Yep.
Fucked up.
Yep. So, yeah, I just can't eat what I used to. Because like even if I go somewhere like that, it's like I do it on the weekend when I know I don't have to go to work the next day, because I don't want to go through that shit while I'm working.
I hear you, man.
Huh. But
sucks when you got fucking diarrhea in a foxhole, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
It happened to me one time, man. Fucking basic, I had the MRE shits.
Yeah.
In a foxhole, like I couldn't get out and like fucking go somewhere and take a shit.
Yep.
Like in the woods or like off somewhere, we had to fucking lay there, in the foxhole, and I had to take a shit like really bad.
Yeah.
Took a lot to fucking keep that stuff in, man. Tell you.
Yep. Speaking of
I was thinking about just fucking letting it go.
Yeah.
You just like, fuck y'all if you guys smell it. Who cares? I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'll buy some new underwear or something.
Yep.
Are you talking about shitting yourself?
Yeah.
I'm talking about almost shitting myself in basic.
No.
When I was in a foxhole and like I had to fucking take a shit really bad. Like I mean, it was borderline. I don't think it was quite diarrhea, but it was definitely borderline diarrhea, like type shits.
Mm-hmm.
Like fuck, man, I really gotta go.
Yeah,
it was
sometimes,
bad.
sometimes that shit happens.
Yeah.
No pun intended, by
What
the
were
way.
you saying? What were you saying about MREs, Steve?
I was saying, speaking of MREs, my work was giving out boxes of them, just for,
Oh, really?
yeah, because it was, disaster area, and, it's like you don't have power and shit, so, you can eat the MREs. But I have a whole box of them just for, I didn't eat, any, I'm saving it just in, God forbid something else happens, but they're in my cupboard. But
There you go. And then if you go somewhere where it's not likely something like that's gonna happen, you go camping or whatever. There you go.
yep. And the box, it had like 4 different types. I don't know, 4 different flavors of shit for different meals.
Or different flavors.
Yeah, different meals like chicken noodle and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Flavors of what?
Uh-huh. But
Yeah, sometimes I like their fucking their drink mix they got in there, man. Their tangy drink mix that they got.
uh-huh.
I like that shit. Yeah, I loved when they started putting that shit in there.
Yeah. Yep. I hear those are a meal's like pretty expensive. Is it true that like a meal is like $10? What, like an MRE is like $10 or something? That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true.
I can't remember how much they are. I don't remember how much they were, and honestly, I don't know how much they are now. But yeah, I did hear that they were kind of expensive.
Yeah.
For the amount of calories you get in one of those fucking things, if you eat everything in there, I mean, I'd say it's pretty worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of calories, a lot of the fucking, they fortify that shit with lots of vitamins and stuff too.
Yeah.
It's supposed to sustain you in a combat situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a whole box. I think.
A lot of people say that a lot of people, like when I was in the Army, a lot of people say they hated the MREs. I was one of those goofy people that actually was like, sometimes, I'm like, no, man, I'd rather have an MRE. Fuck the mess hall.
Yeah.
The mess hall food is fucking shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have like 10 meals. I have like 10 or 12. I think 10. Because my manager was like, take a whole box. I'm like, all right, I'll take a whole box.
Or you could fucking sell them. Although I guess you probably want to sell them sooner than later, because I can't remember exactly the shelf life of them. I know it's a long time.
Yeah, it is a long time.
15 years or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to hold on to them. But, yeah, and then, like, the gas, of course, was bad. Like, thank God that we had a 5-gallon tank going up. And we had a full tank, too. And I think the first couple times we were good. And then we were in Georgia. And there was, there was a time where we went to the gas station and nothing was there. And I was like, well, of course, I got my 5-gallon tank. And that'll, that's a half a tank in our car, because it's only a 10-gallon tank. And I'm pouring it, and I'm looking all around me. It's like, fuck, I don't want to get jumped over fucking gas, because it's like liquid gold right now. And I'm just like, hurry up, just fucking, get in the tank. And then like one guy stops, and I'm looking at him. He's like, where'd you get that at? And I'm like, my house. I was like, I brought it with me. And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to get to Pennsylvania, and there's like no gas. I'm like, yeah, man, sorry. But it was like the closest thing to like fucking zombie apocalypse or something. Jeez.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I'm like, dude, are we in The Last of Us?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm pouring that shit as fast as I can. I'm like, get in the fucking tank before I get jumped. Cause like we're in a gas station, like it's all fucking boarded up, and like the tanks are all, the spigots or whatever is all wrapped, in those bags and shit. And I'm like, I have a gas can with gas in it, and I'm pouring it in my car. I'm just like, fuck, I'm gonna get jumped.
Yeah. This is gonna be a nightmare scenario. That's why you gotta carry like a crowbar or a fucking knife.
Well,
or some shit like that.
My mom's boyfriend he was packing.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. You don't want to steal this fucking gas. I'll shoot you in the face.
Yeah.
and then I'll steal your gas, man. I don't want to have to kill you. I don't want to have to kill you over gas. Come on.
Yeah. Yep. But working at a home improvement place, it was good that I, because they have, the necessities like water, the packs of water and shit. And of course, when they came in, those emergency trucks, I had first dibs. The employees had first dibs because, my manager was like, all right, well, set aside what you want. And then, because we open at 6 in the morning, and he's like, we'll open up the registers at 5:30 so you can buy your shit. And then as soon as we open at 6, well, he was like, hell, if you want to leave early, leave early. He's like, you could buy your shit and then leave at like 5:30, which I did. But I stocked up on, 24 packs of water and shit. So I was all ready to ride it out here. But we decided to go. And at first I was going to ride with my brother's girlfriend up there. And it didn't work out that way because she's like, we had like she has like all these cats because this is what happened, of course, my brother still has a house up in, the mountains in Pennsylvania. And I guess they had strays up there and they really, liked the strays. So they took them in and then, it was like a mother and like 2 or 3 kittens. I think 2 kittens, and plus they had like cats down here, so they had like fucking 8 cats, and she got all the cats but one. She's like, I can't leave. I'm like, oh my god, it's like, I know, it's your fucking pets, but it's like, what's more important, our lives or a fucking cat? I didn't say that because it wasn't, I don't know, maybe I should have. I just felt like it wasn't my place, I know my brother would have been like, let's get the fuck out of here if he was leaving. Fuck the cat. You tried, but we're not gonna die over a fucking cat.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt it wasn't my place and shit, so I was like, ugh. So I just left. I went back to my place, and then we decided to go the next morning. But it's holy shit, man. Over a cat. Let's die over a cat.
Over a frickin' cat.
Yeah, let's die over a cat. But then somehow the next, she left that night. So apparently the cat came back and she rounded up all of them again. And she drove by herself all the way up to Pennsylvania. And that's where they're at now. Because, my my grandfather's, service coming up. They're just staying up there. Why come down?
Right.
So they're going to come down, I guess, with us after the service. Because he has some cleaning up. They both have cleaning up to do at their place. But, yeah. Like I said, that was the worst part, the indecision right at the end. Like, yeah, we're going to stay. No, we're going to go. And then I said, my brother's screaming at, his girlfriend, and I'm like, listen, I'll go up with her. And then my mom says, okay, then we're going to stay. I'm like, what the fuck? You were talking me out of, staying, and now you're going to stay? Like, that was like hell on earth. Like, I do not want to go through that again. It was horrible. It was horrible. And I'm like I'm going back and forth between my house and then my brother's house, because his girlfriend was there. I'm doing more laps than a fucking NASCAR race. Because I go there, we're ready to go, and she's like, I'm not going to go. There was some reason, so I'd go back to my house. And then my brother calls me from my house. Oh, you guys should go. And then I drive, okay, we'll go. So then I drive back over there. Oh, no, we're not going to go. Like, it was horrible. And I told him, I said, I wish you were down here because this shit wouldn't be going on right now if you were down here.
See, the funny thing about that, Steve, is it wasn't your indecision. It was theirs that was giving you grief.
Yeah.
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 You're just like, whatever. I'll do what you guys want to do. Make up your fucking mind and let's do it.
Yeah. I'll stay, even though that storm surge. If it was just purely wind, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck. If it's Category 3, which is kind of bad, or 4, they were even saying 4, and that's scary. That's scary. I was like, you know what? I'll hunker down in my house, or we'll go somewhere around here, like to a friend's house that lives in like, you know, maybe a little higher elevation. You know, I mean, it's all low elevation down here, but you know, a safer fucking area. I'll stay down here. You know, I'll do whatever. But you know, they kept like fucking whipping me up, and I know they're stressed and shit, and it's not easy for them. But it's like I was doing fine, and then like I'm still trying to get over my cold. I still have a cough. You know, and that's definitely not helping it. I'm like hacking, and then I go to Myrtle Beach, and it's moisture. There's like rain and fucking wind, and it's like this isn't gonna help my cold. But yeah, I was fine, and I'm like popping vitamin C too, because it's like I'm trying to get over this cold. I have no more sick time at work over all this shit. I mean, they did give me disaster pay, but you know, I had to use some of my sick times, and I didn't have much, you know, before this whole fucking catastrophe. So now I'm down to 0 hours. And it's like I can't afford to get sick, so I'm like popping vitamin C like crazy. It's just been fucked up. You guys don't care that I've been recording this, right? Because I just wanted to...
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't care.
Because I
was honestly gonna...
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was honestly gonna ask, like, if you wouldn't mind if I streamed. Like, if we could do a little playing some games or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. You can fucking record this. I haven't said anything. I don't think any of us has said anything incriminating. Like we got like a bunch of kids stuffed under our fucking basement or whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, it's like 45 minutes we've been talking. So I'll have something to put on my blogging channel. And plus, I'm gonna hook on those videos that I did, you know, I recorded in Myrtle Beach and shit, so this is going to be a pretty long video, but wish I could have got the Stouter in on it. At least we could be busting his balls, but
yeah.
He said he was going to be on it. He said he was going to be on it. I guess he's getting off right now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah, he's getting off.
Yeah, he's definitely getting off. But,
yeah, I haven't been able to get him to come over to Discord yet. I'm still working on that.
Yeah, if he gets on, we can just have him make an account.
Yeah. Yeah, because pretty much what's gonna happen, Steve, is we're just gonna have this Discord. Like, what's gonna happen is, well, Dan. See, the thing is, his Skype's not working on his phone anymore, so I gotta get a hold of him through Discord. But for the most part, I'll probably like on the Sundays, I'll just like message you, be like, hey, Steve, or hey, whatever, James, or whatever. And once we get a hold of it, then I'll send you the link to come over. Yeah, come over to this Discord.
Okay.
And we could chat, because apparently Skype's being a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't even work for me anymore, man. Like, Pete tried calling me earlier, and it fucking just, like, there was no call button. There was no answer button. I'm like, where the fuck is the answer button? Like, I can hear it ringing, and, like, usually there's something that either pops up on the screen saying, you know, hey, you gotta hit this, you know, to answer or decline or whatever. Or you can go up to the fucking main dialogue window, and then they got, like, you know, the buttons up there in the upper right, and then the call button or the answer button is grayed out. So I'm like, how do I answer this call?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it, we'll just go straight over to Discord.
Yeah. I was like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, it was bullshit.
All right. I'm going to turn on Castle Crashers. Do you guys mind?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta set up my controller real quick.
All right, well, I'm going to... Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I feel bad. It's kind of like the Paul thing. You bought me the game and I haven't even fucked with it yet. But you know, it's kind of with good reason.
Yeah, no. I get, Steve. There's no fucking apologizing for that. But anyways, I'm gonna start the stream. Ready?
Look, there's no beach.
Yeah, no beach.
Whoa, there's our paradise.
Irma took care of that. This is my first time at Myrtle Beach, running from the hurricane. Oh, shit. I'm just so thankful that I have a house. You have no idea. Well, maybe some of you do. One of the scariest parts of my life.
It's looking like a hurricane out here. Damn.
You better take off. Some wind.
We ain't going underneath them cranes, are we? I hope they're not crossing the street.
I mean, I really don't know where we're going. I thought we'd just pull in this one parking lot.
Which one?
It's up here.
Okay.
Because I don't think we're going to be traipsing around. See the sky wheel on the boardwalk. Yeah, when we were here that time, they were working on that sky wheel, and those guys climbing up there.
Yeah.
Oh my lord. Look at these girls. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that dog.
Oh, napkin.
Oh, Lord, I'm getting a little nervous. Yeah, you should.
I got that on tape.
Oh, good. Irma followed us.
Tornadoes.
Bums, remember that? Yeah, why do I know that? I think that's where we went for karaoke. So the camera, the Poindexter would have been like right here. Right down in here. So I don't even know if it exists anymore. Oh, I think it's that building.
Those are over the street. Cut the crap.
It could be. I think so.
Really? They didn't take them down or bend them? Do something. That's crazy. One of them snapped in Miami.
I think it was.
Then two of them? I think they said two of them.
We walked the bumps. Okay, we're coming up on the... Yeah, we're coming up on the skyway.
Yep.
So there's a parking lot, like right on the left-hand side. There's a parking lot up here. Why are you repeating everything I'm telling him in case he's not listening to us. He might think we're talking. Just...
It is a parking lot up here.
Yeah. Well, there has been like a sound barrier right here. I had to like translate on all that.
So this is Myrtle Beach. This is Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
And that's the sky wheel.
And she wouldn't go on.
And the parking lot's right there, right there.
Right where? Right here?
Right there. Right there. Try not to hit the curb.
Right there. Try not to backseat drive.
Whoa, it's crazy in here.
Wow.
And that's the boardwalk. is nuts. Let's ride the sky wheel.
I would. She
Look
wouldn't
at
get
that
on it. Well, we would.
Idiot, how they park.
Oh yeah, nobody
All
cares.
these people have lights on, so you think somebody.
But I mean, they took two.
I'm not waiting for anybody to move. I'm just, it's a good spot as any.
Oh, there's parking spaces over
Oh
there.
yeah, plenty.
Pull up close to the fence.
Yeah, well, look at them waves over there on the left.
Busting through the pier, yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Hey, I'll show you some parking.
We're getting that lifeguard trail taking a picture.
Yeah.
Those are some white caps.
Look under the pier. Look how it's. Watch what it'll do. It waves come in that go way up to the pier where you are.
Yep, there's a little bit.
Right now.
Look at that. Look at that.
Bam.
Would you look at that?
Walk on.
You better go to Florida. This is nice.
I know.
And Irma's not even coming this way unless the beach.
We're on the outskirts. We're on the
Yeah.
outer band.
big.
of her. That's just so wide.
Needs to go on a diet.
Badass bitch.
Yeah, she's like
North
big.
Korea.
Yeah.
Wipe that yin yang off your face of her.
Yeah.
Minimum tow charge, $160. This one, she got a hoodie and bare feet.
She first figures.
Lee says my brother and his wife share your fine lost power and cell towers are down. I think they're there.
Who said that?
Cape Lee.
There's people walking.
What's up, everybody? So this is what Irma did to my backyard, but this was actually the neighbor's fence, and it's like totally well, it's not totally destroyed, but as you can see back here, had some sections blown off. Yeah, I was getting ready to go to bed, and before anybody, before me or my mom's boyfriend cleans this up, I wanted to record it. But look at this. Now, you remember previous videos I had in my backyard, the 3 carrotwood trees. Well, you see the result, and these are hardwood trees, and it was just uprooted like it was nothing. But here's the good thing about that. I feel bad, but the power line right here, where's it at? Where's my power line? I was always afraid like it would come down on the power line. I mean, I still got this one here, but a lot of branches of that one even blew off. But it does make me feel better that that power line is a lot more, free of like branches that could fall on it. But it's a shame that this tree was uprooted. I know this is probably not the best camera work, but yeah, look at that. The shed's still fine. Yeah, look at that. Branch right in the pool. And thank God the pool's fine. Wow, look at the debris. Wow, the pool's just, look at the water, just black. This kind of reminds you, I don't know if you remember, kind of reminds me of my Pennsylvania video whenever I had those strong winds, like the last year I lived up there. I don't know if I still have that video, but you know, if you remember, the limb actually fell on my pool in Pennsylvania and did a lot more damage than this. This is basically no damage. This just has to be removed. But yeah, I am, oh yeah, and the, oh of course the clothes line broke. It was in between those two trees, but man, we were so spared. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. I mean, that tree could have fell on the house. That tree could have fell on the house. Or that tree that got uprooted could have fell on that tree like a domino effect and hit the house. So I'm just so lucky that I have a house to come home to. Yep, so the shed's still there, and this tree's still there, and half of that tree is still there. But yeah, I just wanted to show this to you guys.